Hey class, welcome to our class as we continue assessing what assertiveness is, understanding what assertiveness is, and trying to learn from each other and understand who are assertive people, who are not assertive people. And now we're talking about people who are not assertive. How can we know they're not assertive? How can we tell they're not assertive? And we looked at them being submissive, they avoid conflicts, they don't and now we were looking at the last point here. Sorry guys, so I'll go back here. We were looking at people who are not assertive. How can we know they're not assertive? We talked about passivity, where they won't say no, or they won't try to express themselves even if they're being exploited. We also looked at submissiveness. These people will literally do what other people say, so they will allow being dominated and manipulated, but they won't stand up for their rights or talk about what their needs are or what they feel is right to them. Another way someone is not assertive is avoidance of conflicts. These people avoid conflict. So non-assertive individuals often go to great lengths to avoid confrontations when it's necessary to address important issues. They may keep quiet when a colleague consistently takes credit for their ideas. Now, this is one thing that is evident in a lot of businesses, and it's very painful. You find someone has worked on a certain project, taken his time to work and evaluate a certain project, but now here is an instance where another person wants to take credit of their work or the other person's work. So someone who is not assertive, they won't be direct to talk about it, because they will avoid all they're trying to do is avoid conflict or avoid some issues, because they will just want their peace. So they mind their peace instead of minding what is at stake for them. So this is one thing that is evident for people who are not passive or people who are not assertive. They won't talk even if they're being exploited. You find someone has stolen their business idea and the boss is really happy, so people will take credit for their work, of these people's work. They will take credit, get all their promotions. But someone who is not assertive, because they don't want a lot of problems or they don't want conflicts, they will keep quiet at the back of the corner. Some will go into depression, cry, feel bad about themselves, feel bad about the entire situation, but there is nothing they will do to help the situation, or there is nothing they will do to save their current situation. So they avoid conflicts at all times. Let's move on, guys, and talk about how to be assertive. How should one be assertive? What can you do so that you can be assertive? And I will go to my first point. Use I statements, okay? Express yourself, thoughts, and needs using I statements. For example, I feel frustrated when our project meetings run late because it affects my other commitments. When you're working as a group and everyone is giving their idea about when is the right time to meet or when is the right time to carry out a specific activity, you should use an I statement like, hey guys, I'm sorry to say, but I feel uncomfortable for these times we've chosen because I'll be committed in other events, or I'll be busy at this time. Because it's not wrong to say you're not comfortable. When you're not comfortable, point it out, say it out. No one will feel bad, even if people will feel bad, but it is the right thing to do. You're trying to express yourself. You're trying to also be comfortable and feel comfortable because you're also a member of the team. So just use I statements. I don't feel good, or I felt frustrated or I feel so bad when we run our projects until late, because they will eat my time for doing other businesses or eat my time for engaging in other businesses. Another way to be assertive is be direct but respectful. Here, guys, it's key. Just be direct, okay? But apart from being direct, be respectful. Now, my lines are crooked again, class. Don't laugh at me, but they're so crooked, but I will try. I just want to make the point and show you what I really mean when I say this. So let me try a straight line, because I want to focus on this point. How is this? There. This is straight, but oops, no. But let's continue. All I'm trying to say, guys, is I'm really stressing on this point. Be direct, and not only be direct, but as much as you're direct, be respectful. So be clear and concise in your communication. Use a calm and respectful tone when expressing yourself. So when you feel uncomfortable about a certain situation, be direct and tell someone, hey, I'm not comfortable when you do this, or I'm not comfortable when you're not around, or this and this makes me uncomfortable. Just be direct. But above all that, even if you're direct or you're trying to like talk your point to people, be respectful. Don't just go shouting that, hey, you guys don't even love other people, don't confirm other people, you feel like you're the bosses. Anything you just say, like, be respectful when you're trying to like prove your point or try to like want people to understand what you're saying. Another way to learn how to be assertive is practice active listening. This is very important, guys. Practice active listening. So when someone else is speaking, listen actively to their perspective and knowledge, their feelings and thoughts. So when someone is speaking their knowledge out, their feelings or their own perspectives or their perspective ideas, listen to them keenly. This is one way of being passive. You don't want to talk when someone is talking or shout back when someone is shouting, or when you're quarreling or have some differences. You try, just the best way to solve problems is just be a listener. At some point you will really need it. You just listen to them talk, and after they're done talking, now you can give your views and now talk like people who know what they're talking about. Another way to be assertive is set clear boundaries. If you're saying no to something, mean the no and stick to your no. If you're saying yes to something, mean your yes and stick to your yes. And this is basically what I'm trying to say, and basically what assertiveness entails. Everything about being clear and set your boundaries clear. Know your limits and communicate them to others. It's okay to say no when necessary. Again, it's really okay to be opposite, or when I say opposite, I mean to be different from others. When others think that A is the right answer and you feel like B is the right answer, don't be a person who is not assertive and like, because people are saying A, you move with the crowd and write A. So when people are going to fall down, you're also falling with them, or people when they're rising also rise with them. So the main idea of being assertive means even if the outcome would be to your liking, it is a chance of learning and redeeming yourself. So the best thing here, even if people are choosing the A as the right answer and you feel like B is your right answer, go for it. Be an assertive person, chase your dreams. Because sometimes, yes, you might be wrong and this might go against you, but again, most of the time when you feel and trust your instincts, then you might be right. So always follow what you feel is right. It's okay to really say no and tell someone, no, you can't do a certain thing, or you can't involve yourself in a certain thing. Another way to be assertive is use assertive body language. What are assertive body language? This is like maintain eye contact, stand or sit upright, use appropriate gestures, convey confidence and sincerity. Now, we have a body language, the assertive body language, and I guess some of you are learning this for the first time. So use assertive body language. This means when you're talking to someone and you're trying to set your priorities straight, look straight into the eyes of these people or this person. Maintain your eye contact. Share your idea and your thought out without feeling shy. Stand upright or sit upright. Do not fold or put your head down, or when you're trying to say no, you can do something, your head is down. People won't take this serious. But if you want people to take you serious and take your no serious or take your yes serious, what you do is maintain your eye contact with them. Stand upright or sit upright, and use appropriate gestures to convey confidence and sincerity. Another way to be assertive is consequences of not being assertive. So sorry guys about that. I'm done looking at ways in which you can be assertive, and these are some of the ways we looked at, and there are other ways out there. Okay, so what you can do now is go out of your way, look for other ways you can be assertive. There are very many ways to show someone that you really mean what you're saying. So we move from that and look at the consequences of not being assertive. What will happen to you if you're not assertive? Consequences. There are always consequences of not trying to stand firm with what you believe in. So one is resentment, right? Non-assertive individuals may build a resentment over time because they feel their needs and boundaries are not being respected. This means that over time they will fail to do some task, or they will fail to take part in some tasks because they feel like their needs are not being respected, or people aren't respecting their boundaries. So with time, instead of doing some activities or taking part in certain activities given to them, they will tend to move away from this activity, or just generally not do the activity. So this is called resentment. This is one consequence for not being assertive. Another consequence is lack of control. So they may feel powerless in various situations, as they often let others make decisions for them. So the more you are not assertive about yourself and your opinions and your ideas, the more you can't share them out. You find yourself, you just lack control with your life, with your situation and everything, because you let people do your decisions for you. You let people think for you. You let people make these important decisions for you. So you lose track of yourself. You lose the control over your feelings. So you will feel powerless. You will feel like you can't do anything for yourself, because people are always using your time. People are always making decisions for you. And this is very sad, honestly. And students, if you're listening to me, one painful aspect in life is lack of control over your life. You can't control your life. If there's an important decision to make, you find someone is like, oh, I'm in for this, and my friend here will also be in for this, or I'm eating this and my friend here will also love to eat this. And sometimes maybe you've gone to some conference and you really want to try the food out there, try the different cultural foods and learn about different things. But because your friend doesn't want a certain food, he or she will make this decision for you. And it's very sad that you won't find a chance to have other varieties, explore. You can't explore because someone else is making the decision for you. So as we're learning, guys, one important thing is don't lose track of yourself, okay? Don't lose track of who you are. When you feel like you are losing control of your life, take a moment, take a pause, think about your life, think of things you should change or how you're going to change your life. And with this, you will be able to get back on track and understand how you're moving your life. Another way or consequence of not being assertive is stress and anxiety. Stress and anxiety. Avoiding conflicts or not expressing oneself can lead to increased stress and anxiety. Avoiding conflicts and not expressing oneself can lead to increased stress and anxiety. So when you avoid to express yourself, you avoid to talk when you're in public, you avoid building yourself, with time you'll be stressful because you feel sometimes you're right, but because you're not assertive, you can't talk. So you with time you'll start developing anxiety and stressful because you feel some things are going against you. Sometimes you feel like you really have the right answer or the right way to move on with your life, but you can't, simply because you can't talk. So with time you develop stress and anxiety. Another way is misunderstandings. This is another consequence of not being assertive. Misunderstandings. Others might misinterpret their passivity as agreement or compliance, leading to misunderstanding and unmet expectations. So, for example, you can't express yourself. You can't express how you feel. So with time, you will people will start misunderstanding you. People will start misunderstanding what you really want in life, and this can also lead to unmet expectations. Like, you expected to perform really well in your quiz or a group discussion. For example, you had a group discussions, right? And you wanted to perform really well, but because you're not assertive, tell the group, hey guys, I think we are wrong here, or we are doing this wrong, or we have this wrong. So because you can't stand up and own up and feel as if you're part of the group, you will have unmet expectations. So you'll end up missing on a point or performing poorly because you can't just speak out, and people will misunderstand you too. So others might misinterpret your passivity as agreement and compliance. So you're not talking, even if the group is wrong or the group is doing something wrong, people will misunderstand you. They'll be like, oh, you're okay, or oh, you're comfortable with everything in every situation. And this is one place you don't want to put yourself in and avoid.